Double your dose with an all-new exclusive video every single week, like these ones, plus hours to binge in the back catalog when you support The Habit at patreon.com/doseofbuckley. Yes, the title of this video is a little misleading, I know. Consider it a sort of parody of the hyperbole used in many of the titles of videos I'm going to talk about today. But in case you hadn't heard, just within the last 30 days, 6 relatively high-profile YouTubers announced that they're either stepping back, taking some time off, or flat out quitting YouTube. And as a guy who once stepped back, took some time off, and almost flat out quit YouTube, I thought that maybe I might have some opinions on it that you might find interesting. Well, we're not here for interesting, you old fuck. We're here for funny. Make me laugh, clown! Oh, it's interesting you say that, voice in my head, because that might lead into answering the question posed in the title. Why are people quitting? But first, let's talk about those 6 YouTubers. Tom Scott, a guy who makes science, tech, and travel videos, said he's stepping away from his regular weekly videos to focus more on his podcast and some other projects. Luckily, he has a ton of evergreen content, so if you've never watched him, do yourself a favor. It's excellent stuff that makes you wonder how he did it weekly. JoCat, a gaming and animation channel, his reason's a little different. He said he was going to take a break after getting some heat over a video he made about Lizzo or something. Either way, he posted a video since then, so I don't know how serious he's taking this hiatus. Moo, another gaming channel, said he's stepping away from doing YouTube full-time, and then posted 3 more videos. Joel Haver, who does funny rotoscope animations about gaming, as well as other short films, released a video called It's Been Fun, where he spent 10 minutes to say he's going to focus on making a monthly film rather than weekly short films. Meat Canyon, who I just discovered maybe 3 months ago, does these really trippy and fucking hilarious animations that are often very clever and disturbing commentaries on pop culture and society. He decided to show up on camera to basically say he's burned out churning out videos every 2 weeks, that he's not having as much fun as he used to, and he's not thrilled about the negativity that he's putting out. Personally, I think there's a lot of comedy in negativity, but that's just me, and I completely understand how hard it is to not get sucked into it so much that it affects your life. This shit's funny for YouTube, but your girlfriend's aunt doesn't want to hear you rant about scumbags taking advantage of Matthew Perry's death at her daughter's wedding. And finally, MatPat, the creator of Game Theory and a bunch of other channels, is doing a sort of Ray William Johnson. Remember that guy? Where he's handing the reins of his channel to someone else. And then I guess he'll still do the odd appearance, and presumably take a percentage of the money earned. I don't know about that last part, though. That's just a theory. A MatPat theory. So, that's 6. All channels with well over 1 million subscribers, all making these announcements within the last 30 days. So, what the fuck is going on? Obviously, all of them have somewhat different reasons, but for a lot of them, it's about what I said at the start. It's about wanting to do something else. When I created A Dose of Buckley, I created it as a variety channel. My first video I ever posted was a commercial parody. My first rant, which was just an MP3 file on a website, was political. It was about a local transit union striking. The first rant I ever posted to YouTube was celebrity-based. It was about Tiger Woods. The first thing that ever got any notoriety for me was making fun of people trying to get a job in the radio industry. And yet, when I finally cracked 100,000 subscribers and then 500,000 subscribers, it was because of one video that was blessed by the algorithm. My 10 Worst Songs of 2011 video. And one of the most common angry comments on my videos for years would be people telling me to stick to talking about music. So that's me, as an established variety channel, getting that. I can only imagine the type of shit, say, Meat Canyon would get if, instead of doing a video making fun of Taylor Swift or XQC or Mr. Beast, he did some original animation. I can understand how disheartening it probably was for someone like Joel Haver doing a Starfield animation and getting 2 million views, and then doing something called A Film About My Grandparents, something I imagine that was far more personal, far more interesting for him to make, and getting less than 100,000 views. But Creating for an audience, being an entertainer, sometimes means you have to make choices that you might not make. That doesn't mean sacrificing every moral you have, of course. You don't have to be like, well, I say poggers now because that's cool. Oh, it's not cool anymore? What, you say it's giving? On God? Is Fleek still neato? No? And neither is neato? Well, fuck. Do kids still say fuck at least? You can still create those things in your voice. Like Meat Canyon said in his video, he made a cartoon about the Velma backlash and about Logan Paul being a scammer, even though he doesn't really give a fuck about those things. That he feels like he did it for views, for money, to keep the channel going. But they're still in his voice. Like it's still his comedy, his art. And if that makes it possible to do what he really wants to do, I don't see a problem with that. That's basically what Lady Gaga did. I don't really like her, but I can kinda respect her playing the labels that way. She made 2 very paint-by-numbers college girl tramp pop albums, made a boatload of money, and then she was like, alright, I'm gonna go make 2 albums of piano ballads with Tony Bennett. But they're burned out from churning out a self-imposed quota of content like a Chinese kid in a phone factory. I get it. I went through it. And then I realized that it was probably something else in my life that had sucked me dry creatively. But turning what you love to do into a job is stressful as fuck. It is. I didn't care about the number of views a video got until it became vital to my survival as a human being. Now I look at my stats 30 times a day and go, fuck, fuck, fuck. I think taking up smoking would have been less harmful to my fucking blood pressure than installing the YouTube Studio app on my phone. But all of this has caused other YouTubers to reflect on what they've been doing too. Jacksepticeye, the YouTube Jack that didn't get stalked by a dopey tart in glasses, remarked that he's now been doing YouTube for a third of his life. I'm in the same boat. I'm 42. I've been creating content for 14 years. I understand. But other people don't. And I understand why they don't understand. Like this guy. It is funny how they think they worked for a long time. MatPat said something like, I'm almost 40 and still doing YouTube. They do realize their job is literally perfect, and people usually work till their late 60s, right? I can see how people might think this job is literally perfect. I feel very fortunate for the last 4 years to have a lot more freedom than my old 9 to 5, or 6 p.m. to 3 a.m. for a number of years. But you can't do YouTube until you're 60. Not as a job, anyway. I don't know, I might be able to. Maybe that'll be really funny. Being 55 years old, making fun of some new rapper wearing 2 eye patches and a Marge Simpson wig that calls herself Lil Cunt Flap or some shit. But maybe it'll just be really sad. A 55-year-old MatPat telling you his theory on why Zelda still hasn't porked Link in 2042's The Legend of Zelda, The Ancient Incel, might just result in people going, you're 55, dude. Why are you still talking about video games? So I can't answer why this all happened within late December to early January. Some new year, new me bullshit maybe? Maybe it'll be like the lazy fucks who all buy gym memberships in January and stop going by March. Maybe all these people will just go back to normal in a few months. But more than likely, you'll start to see more of this. YouTube is less than 20 years old, so there's not a lot of precedent for this. But all these people talk about their channels being 5, 10, 15 years old. What fucking TV show do you know that lasts that long? The Simpsons is 35 years old, and all you ever hear is people tell you how much it fucking sucks now, and all the voice actors had to take pay cuts to even keep it on the air. A lot of TV shows get like 2 to 4 seasons before viewership dips and the networks have to cancel it. Creators like myself are just too stupid to cancel themselves after audiences collectively say, alright, we're bored with you, we're gonna go watch something else. And creative people can't do the same thing for 30 years. You won't watch it, and they'll hate their lives because it's no longer creative. Doing the same thing for 30 years isn't creative. And they can't really change it up because, as we've seen in the past, you won't watch it. You know what you will watch, though? Goodbye videos. The irony of it all In almost every case, these videos are the most watched things on these channels in months. So, if you're a creator who's feeling burnt out, and maybe having a view slump, just quit. You'll get twice as many views as you normally do, and then you can come back in a month or two, refreshed and ready to grind yourself back into a fine paste in the name of creativity. Because, even with all the stress, there are certainly worse ways to make a living. Ask that Chinese kid in the phone factory about his creative burnout. But be quick, he's got a meeting with the Foxconn nets in about 15 minutes. Too dark? Oh, then you must not have been around for my Corey Monteith and Paul Walker period.